DLC Workshop started as an online platform where we have 11 IPs. One of them is DLC Workshop. We have Masterclass, we have DLC Live, we have multiple IPs across. But Workshops is very, very special because this gives you an ability to be able to brush your shoulders with good things, passionately driven in life. Lifestyle is super important to DLC as much as business, and workshops are very critical to upgrading your lifestyle knowledge. This is one such event in person happening today. This is our first live workshop. We've done a few workshops before which have been online, and the whole idea is to do a confluence of virtual and real world together. Over to you, Pearl, for introducing the star of this evening, Luca. Thank you, guys.
Now we have Luca, with over 350 official wine varieties and 20 different wine producing regions. Getting a peek into Italian wine culture can be overwhelming and yet daunting. To help you understand the vast range of Italian wines and how to pick the best bottles and food to enjoy, we at DLC have put together an exclusive wine workshop that will promise you a slice of Italy. And it's worth learning when it comes from the Italian wine expert and historian of Italian gastronomy for the Italian Institute of Culture. He was the Indian coordinator for the worldwide restaurant guide, Show Food Planet. Lecturer for Dolce Vino, a project by the Indo-Italian Chamber of Commerce. Let's welcome Luca, the global member of Wine, Spirits and Cigar Committee.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. So, what we're going to do tonight, the theme tonight is the red wine, Italian red wine. But every time I do this presentation, we change the wine, so I want to give a theme or to describe something. For example, why I should consume Italian wine, not a French, not French. Anyone has some French friends? Yeah, Italian and French people are very close. Anyway, who drinks Italian wine here? No one? No. Okay, why you drink Italian wine? Okay. This is because she loves to drink wine and good wine. This is the best explanation that you should drink Italian wine. But today I want to explain you something also why Italian wine Panorama is unique in the world. Okay? So, because fortunately, for historical reason, we have the biggest biodiversity when talking about grape varieties in the world. Okay? To make wine. You have to think that in Italy only we have more than 400 varieties of grape which we make wine. Okay? It's a unique case we can see all over the world. If you see other countries, let's talk about France or Spain, let's say, because they are the biggest producer in the world of wine. The biggest producer are Italy and France, let's say. If you see France, we have a saying also. French people love the wine, Italian people love the grapes. Why? Because the characteristic of French wine, the leader in production, not in quantity. Quantity first is Italy, but the leader in the market, let's say, unfortunately, but till now, later on, hopefully will be Italy. They utilize, let's say, between 12 and 15 varieties of grape, and they are master in blending. Well, in Italy, Italy is very well known for monogrape wine. In fact, tonight we are going to taste 4 wines that are all monograpes. It is 100% with one variety of grape. This is why also we have all this big variety kept. There's also an historical reason behind this. You know what happened? In the old days, let's say 300 years ago or so, there was a country, UK, no? Was very rich with a big colonial empire. It was the richest country in the world. And with one we have a richer a rich country, you have rich people, and rich people, they want wine. But in Britain, we have a problem. You can't produce wine in-house, okay? So why? Because the climate is not good, because the soil is not good, but especially because of the climate. So, 300 years ago, the aristocratic, the rich people, the wealthy people, had to import the wine from somewhere else. And the closest country producing a lot of wine was what is close to Britain, facing Britain. What is close to Britain? The south? France, no? So Britain was importing a lot of wine from France. It was bad for the British economy, so they started to plant vine vineyards in the colonies. This is why we have New Zealand, Australia, even US producing wine, okay? And they wanted to produce French-style wine, okay? Because they were used to that wine, they like that wine. So this is why if you go to Australia, if you go to America, if you go to New Zealand, very often almost all the grapes are French. Chardonnay, okay, Cabernet, Merlot, all of these. So this is one reason why mainly when we talk about international grapes, we are talking about French grapes. This is the reason why they are all over the world is because of UK. No? It's always British fault, no? You know. So because of this market was so focused on these few grapes to make Champagne, to make Bordeaux, to make Burgundy, the French people, the French farmers and wine producers focused only on these varieties. So because they were growing only this type of grapes variety, they lost a lot of biodiversity. They forgotten a lot of different local grapes. While Italy stayed outside for many years of this international global wine market, they kept their own local grapes variety. Okay, this is why we have this thesaurus incredible. So this is why go to Italy, try different wine because with a different grape, it's a completely different story. And this is why also we love our grapes more than our wine. So the first wine we're gonna taste, we are on the north of Italy, in Emilia-Romagna, one of the best places in Italy, not because I come from there, but because it is like this. Okay, so we start with the red, tonight they are all red wines. And we start with the sparkling wine. Okay, first, also, we are very lucky today to be here because 3 wines of this set of 4, this collection of 4, are not yet in the Indian market. So you have the unique chance tonight to taste these wines. You cannot order at the restaurant, you cannot order in your wine shop, favorite wine shop, it's not there. Okay, so aren't you lucky? Very good. So this grape comes from the north, Emilia-Romagna, the area where they make Ferrari, where they make Parma ham, you're gonna taste it, they make Parmigiano Reggiano. It's called the Food Valley. Okay, this is why there's the extra European agency, like the Food and Drug Administration for European Union. That's because that place is so famous for the food. So this grape is very particular. Why is particular? It's called Lambrusco grape, and the name of the wine comes from the name of the grape. Lambrusco grape is particular first of all because it loves flat area. Generally, the grape plant, the vine loves hilly places. No? You can see also, if you go to Nashik, it's hilly and something like that. So this one is particular because of first flat area and humidity. Okay? I don't understand why they don't plant Lambrusco in India, for example. And the wine has a good potential, very good potential because first it's easy drinking, fresh, not very heavy. Also for warm climate, it's very good. It has a blast this type of wine in the 80s in US. And when you move a product to another country, especially we are talking about food and beverage, the country there, the culture of that country, re-elaborates that product according to their concept. If you see the advertisement of Lambrusco in the 80s, in US, you see that they're drinking with ice in a tumbler like a refreshing whiskey around a swimming pool. Well, it's not a problem. I mean, because if you like to drink it that way, you are all the right drink in that way. Okay? So now we can start to serve the first wine, please, because otherwise, first you get bored, and second you get thirsty. No, more thirsty and then bored, I guess. A little introduction, first of all, while you're going to have your glass of wine, I want to thank Jimmy, of course, Della Resort for hosting this beautiful event. It's the first, but there will be many more, for sure. As long as we have wine, we continue. What will come along with this your wine? We are pairing this. Of course, we have a cheese platter over there, and then we are pairing this wine with what was Parma ham? Yes, and prawns. Exactly. Very good. He's the chef. A big hand for the chef preparing. Okay, nice. So, Parma ham, because it's the fat of the prosciutto, the ham, but let's say the wine cleans the fat of the ham. Okay, and then also prawns. Let's say they always tell you fish or seafood with white wine and meat with red wine. Not really. Also because if you see when you taste, it's very light, very simple wine, crispy, fruity, and fresh. So it doesn't clash with the seafood, with the broth that you're gonna taste now. Then they always ask me, what is the food and wine pairing? Okay, $1 million question. Since I'm the wine expert, global wine expert, I have this secret for you all. It's very important. Pay attention to this secret of the food and wine pairing. Take a note, drink what you like and eat what you like. Okay? Don't listen to expert or whatever, don't force yourself. First of all, go with your taste. It has a high acidity. You feel a bit of sourness coming, for example, like cherry sourness. So this wine, see, you can have a lot of potential also for Indian audience here, because you see it has this freshness, high acidity. Of course, it's a sparkling wine, but not too sparkling, no? Also, because also when it's too sparkling, like it looks like you are drinking Kingfisher. It's not good in that way. It has to be fine. The bubbles have to be fine. Okay? So because too many bubbles also anesthetize your mouth. It's not good. You can't feel anything after that. Okay? So it has to be, the bubbles have to be gentle. Okay. Lambrusco is the variety. We have three main varieties of Lambrusco. This is Lambrusco di Sorbara. Then we have Graspa Rossa. It is very intense, and also when you pour, the foam is pink. Okay, then we have another variety called Salamino, and then we can make Lambrusco sweet. It's a very nice wine. Also, you can try also with desserts, some desserts. Let's say. Any questions around? You feel lucky to have this wine. You know sparkling wine. Fantastic. So that's also, it's not that all this brand is not available in India. I never seen Lambrusco wine in India. So look, take a look. And luckily, sooner or later, you will enter this type of wine, will enter in this market. Then I almost finished this blah 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 for this first wine. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe we can start with the band, a bit of music. No? You want a bit of music? While you see? And then I come back, I'll see you with other talking about history, grapes and that. But don't worry, I won't be boring. Ciao. Arrivederci. See you later. So this wine is very good for aperitif. Has to be very chilled, okay? Don't drink warm or what you say room temperature. First of all, because when you open it's not chilled properly. When you open it, half the wine will go out. So unless you're celebrating your birthday or you want a race that you want to do like this, chill it, okay? Otherwise don't open. It's dangerous. Very good. Now we continue our journey. We go to the south. We are in Campania. It's the region of Naples, Amalfi Coast. We go more internal, less famous area. It's called Benevento, the city of the area. Benevento means good event. Okay? We are in Campania, the region. This wine is called Piedirosso. Okay? Taborno. Piedirosso again is the name of the grape. It seems it's 100% this grape. Even the wine takes the name of the grape. Because, for example, there's not the grape Champagne, there's not the grape Bordeaux, okay? But in Italy, many wines they take the name from the grapes because they are 100% grapes, made of this grape. So we can start to serve also this wine. Look, you have a platoon of people that will arrive now. Why Piedirosso? It means red fruit because when it's ripe, the plant becomes like maroon. This is why. It's the food of the grape cluster. No? A very ancient grape in Italy. We have documentation that this. So this wine is another style. With the steel tanks, you lose longevity of the wine. You have to drink it 3-4 years maximum. You can't keep this for 10 years, 15 years, becomes vinegar. You have to drink, let's say, young. It's low. It's medium to light body. Okay, bruschetta, there's the tomato. Tomato is one of the most difficult things to pair with the wine, okay? Because this acidity of the tomato. So you have to get something acid on the same. Then we put very nice, is mozzarella. Chef, mozzarella, no? Mozzarella balls, one of my favorite snacks. I love them, okay? So this is fried, no, and mozzarella. So if you you pair, for example, a very light white wine, for example, it's gonna disappear, the white wine. Or you get a sparkling, which is one of my favorite pairing. I didn't say the best, I said the favorite. Remember what I said on wine and fruit pairing? Because I like very much fried stuff with sparkling wine. One of my best is Prosecco and onion badgers. Okay? That to understand. Anyway, with the fried, you need some wine that can cope, no? This heaviness a little bit, of course, because something tasty, very tasty, of the breadcrumbs, fried. Okay? Any question?
Are those wines like single grape?
Okay. Okay. I repeat what you said for the other people. She asked. When you talk about noble grapes, for example, to make Bordeaux, okay? They say there's no a grape called Bordeaux. It takes off the taste. So Bordeaux every time is a blend of different. It's a blend. It's always a blend Bordeaux, mainly Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot. I guess it's a new species for all for monogrape wine, not blend. Before 100% Lambrusco, now 100% Piedirosso. The production of Piedirosso is not so huge also. It's a small area in the area internal Naples, close to Naples. And also, as you see, you don't find this Piedirosso, for example, from California. You don't find from Australia, because it's a very local, indigenous, autochthonous, say what you want, great, 100% Italian. Okay? Viva l'Italia! Now, also, we set a bit late, so we wrap up a little bit. We don't want you to stay here. Of course, if you want to sip more, we can give a little bit more. Don't worry, don't be scared. No? We are not stingy. We give whatever you want. Okay? Very good. So now we are ready for the next break, and then we are ready later on for other two. We are only halfway, huh? So, take care. The third wine that we have is Primitivo grape. When I say Primitivo grape, I say Puglia. Puglia is the heel of the boot. You know, Italy has the shape of a boot, is in the heel. Okay, the same south, east. Okay, so this is the most famous grape there. Primitivo means primitive, or like first. Why? Because the vintage is it happens very early, around August. Okay, which is in Italy is very early. Generally, the vintage, the harvest, okay, of the grape is in September, October, stretching at the middle of November for late vintage. This one is in August, at the end of August. First of all, because it's very hot in the south. So you see also it's a very southern grape. What do you mean when I say when it's a very southern grape? Very strong, very powerful. But even this wine is not so much strong or full body. Because even in this wine, we are not involved in the technique of vinification, but still, it has, since it's very hot, the climate is very hot over there, we have less water in the grape berry and high concentration of sugar. It means more alcohol, because the fermentation needs sugar. During the fermentation, we transform the sugar in alcohol. Again, so first of all, again, since it's quite young, also quite young wine, the color is very intense. Secondly, you see we have more alcohol. If you try to swirl like this gently and then you stop, you see that you see some drops gets attached a little bit and they go down. This is the alcohol, gets attached. Alcohol and another thing, glycerin. During the process of vinification, we have a production inside, when we have the yeast, the sugar, all this. A byproduct of the fermentation is glycerin. What makes glycerin? Makes rounder the wine. It sticks more in your mouth. It gets longer also. While you saw before the Lambrusco, you get a sip and straight away you're ready for another sip. Okay? Unless you already drank a bottle before. So, but you don't feel full your mouth of the wine. See, it stays much longer in your mouth. And it changes also. Because before, I have a cherry or red, let's say plums also, no? Red fruits. Then slowly, of course it's physiologic, we have the dryness, no? The bitterness. And then still, see, you after the Lambrusco, you don't need a sip of water. After this, it's quite astringent. Of course, because we have the tannins. Remember, the tannins are given from two factors. The skin of the grape, so if during the process of vinification you keep the skin for longer, you have more tannins. And the barrel. Okay? There's an exchange between the wood and the wine. The wood gives you the tannins, which is this sensation that you have now. No? Itchy a little bit, no? Astringent, we say more technically. So, see, this is also stronger than the one before. So one law is that you start for the lightest, no, when you have a tasting session, and then you go with the stronger. Okay? And one of the factors is also the alcohol. We are talking about 11% for the Lambrusco, the first one, and we are going 30% the one before and this one. But we're going to go for 14% with the last one. Now, important question. Since we arrived at 3, which one you prefer? Raise your hand for the Lambrusco. 1, 2, 3 and a half. One hand or one finger. Okay. This audience like stronger stuff. Okay, the second one. Who likes more the second one? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And decide. Okay, no second. At the end, who likes more Primitivo? Okay. Nice that you like this one. And then we're gonna go for the next. Unless there's some question. This side, question.
There's any woody fragrance in the last.
And the last one,
Yeah.
I was reading the technical description. They say no, but I feel something. I think that you know what you can do also when you make a wine. You can take the quantity of this wine and half or 20 or 10% you pass in a barrel, and the rest you put. So probably you're right. I think that let's say 10-20%. I felt the same thing. There's some wood involved.
How long it's been aged and which barrel?
Okay, she asked how long has been aged this wine. Okay, it's not and in barrel also. So, in the technical description that the winery gives you, they don't say that it's passing in barrels. There's no oak involved. But both of us, first she said, but I feel something. So what happened? Probably, as I said before, the batch, they took 80% in metal, in steel vats, and a little bit 10% to give this roundness and a little bit of vanilla. Okay, how long? Few months, this one. Really, not much, for sure. These are all young wines. It's not so young because this is 2017, 2016. Okay, but of course, the Primitivo has a high longevity. So once it's bottled, it can stay there for different years. Okay, but the aging is not more in the bottle, but the aging is more. The factor is in the barrel. Okay, and sometimes also in the stainless steel vat. Okay, but I define this also not so complex. Okay, there's no long aging in barrels. Absolutely not. But it's not young because it has already 5 years. I mean, can already go to preschool. But this one you can keep also for 2-3 years more, 10 years also, easily. Good that you like this Primitivo. I agree. It's more complex, it's more interesting than the one before. But luckily, there's no the wine producer here present. Otherwise, we're talking about taste. So it's about ourselves. It's subjective. Okay. Then if there are defects, if it's gone, if it's not completely good, okay, we can agree and like. But as I said, I always ask you, what it's not. I'm not saying what is the best. I always say what I like more. Okay? Obviously. Okay. Then, of course, Italian wines are better than the French wine. That is a fact. But this is another story. Music. Okay, good. So, wine is part of our daily life also. When I was in Italy, we drink during lunchtime. It's not that people, also during a lunch working day, if you order a glass of wine, there's no people behind you. No. We are saying, in fact, in Italy, that this scene is quite interesting and is a photo of our relationship with wine, very casual. The meal without wine is called breakfast, okay? Obviously, we don't drink wine during breakfast because, we are not Russian. Anyway, so, second thing, you heard before the guitar man playing That's Amore, no? Who is the singer of That's Amore?
Dino Crocetta.
Okay, so we go now up again. We go to the north, close to France, northwest, close to France. Our beloved French fries. It's called, the wine is called Barbera, okay? Barbera, first of all, is a grape. We can define one of the few Italian international grapes. You can find in California, you can find in Australia, and made by immigrants. Barbera is very extended as a cultivation. It's in all the northwest of Italy, but you can find also Barbera in Australia, in California. So it's grape from the north. First of all, you see it's less intense because it's agreed from the north, less concentration. But it's higher in alcohol, this one. You look, you smell, and of course at the end, okay? The best part is you drink. I spent 6 years in that area of my life doing all, of course, drinking. Unfortunately, it's a dirty job, but someone think that I'm paid to drink and eat. I want you to describe this wine.
It feels nice.
It feels nice. Okay, it's smooth. Yes, it's very young. This is 3 years old, 2 years old. For this type of wine, it's young. It will. This one, if you drink this wine in 2-3 years, it changes quite a lot, and it will improve. So what happens to the life of a wine? You have this cure, no? Very simple, like everything, like human. No, you go small, you get up, and you go small again. There's nothing forever. Even a wine, even the best wine at the end, it goes. No, it gets spoiled. So the fact is, you can also the ability also to find the best moment when you can taste a wine. When it arrives at the top of the evolution, because when a wine is in the bottle, it's not finished. It keeps changing also in the bottle. There's an evolution. In Italy, there is a wine bank. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that you go to the ATM, you put inside your card, and you get to take out a bottle. No, there's many wine producers all over Italy. They stock this wine there. And then it doesn't become a museum, I said a bank. In a bank, it's not a museum of your money. You put, but you can take out. No? A museum, it goes inside and stays there forever. No. Many people, they ask me, how long it stays a bottle in the fridge after opening. Forget, you open a bottle, you finish the bottle. That's it. That is the best thing you can do. Okay, who wants? Tell me about this wine.
A little bitter for me.
Too bitter. Okay. Too strong, maybe, no? Too strong also. No, bitterness and strongness, it goes together. The Primitivo is more pleasing, in my opinion. It's more balanced, it's more elegant, smoother. But I want to say this wine for now is young. This has potential to get aged. Alright, first we are talking about how to preserve the wine. Don't keep your wine like this at home, especially if you have cork cap, the cork, because keeping like this, the cork gets dry, okay, gets dried up, so it gets smaller, okay, gets smaller, so the air passes through, and you have this, the biggest enemy for a wine, oxidation.
So you said that oxidation is bad for the wine. So what's the concept of airing out the wine before you consume it?
Yeah, but oxidation is a slow process. And it's a defect of the wine. But also to air the wine, you don't have to air the wine, any wine. Even this one doesn't need. Okay? Because it's young. When you have young, for example, the Primitivo needed to be aired. First thing, the best thing, to air the wine. Now there's this, not now. I see very often to use the decanter, no? Okay? The decanter. They're making just showing off. The decanter is wrong in the liquid. The best thing is not even opening the bottle like 1 hour before. It's completely useless because the surface in cocktail, when you open the bottle is like this, you know? So the surface in contact with the air is like this. So the rest of the wine doesn't get there. The best is to pour and wait 5, 10, maximum 15 minutes. If you are greedy, you don't want to wait, start to do like this. Okay? Doing like this. Of course, you can do also like this, but this is dangerous because sometimes it's better to stay to swirl, no? In this way, it's very. You have to do a bit of practice. But this one is very easy to do, especially if you do this way, you swirl and get oxygen very fast. Okay, first of all, please give a big hand to the staff over there that helped us very much. fantastic service. Thank you very much. And music.